Right everyone, it has been here and welcome to my 25-26 Betway Premiership predictions, where today for the very first time on this channel I'm going to be giving my predictions on the South African Premier League. As you can see right here, we've got all 16 teams set up along with the tier list, and we're going to be going from 16th place and work our way up what we think the table will look like come the end of the season. Now of course this is always a wildly unpredictable league. I mean, my team Cape Town City are no longer there, they got relegated last season. Breaks my heart, but once again, it is proof to how unpredictable this league can be. I mean, many people predicted that the Citizens would end up third, maybe fourth last season. They ended up getting relegated, but that's just because we don't know what the back of a goal looks like.
Oh my god! What is that?
But saying that, once again, 16 teams, it won't be easy, but you guys know the drill by now. Make sure to put your predictions down below. And if you want me to make more South African Premier League content, make sure to put that down below as well, along with liking and subscribing so that I know you enjoy it. But of course, let's jump straight into last place, 16th place. I'm going to go for the likes of Galants here. I think there are one or two teams that could potentially end up in that last place. As we know, 16th place gets automatically relegated, while 15th place goes through a relegation playoff. Once again, I'm a Cape Town City fan, I know too much about it. But looking at Galants, they conceded 39 goals last season, by far the most. Their defense was so leaky. I just don't think they've improved that much so far this transfer window either, so they haven't improved the squad, despite the fact that they didn't look great last time around. They've also lost the likes of Mango, obviously the Malawi striker. He's a very versatile player that could get them out of sticky situations. I just don't think the team's improved that much, and I see them struggling to stay up. Now to talk about that 15th playoff spot, I do find that there are probably 4 or 5 teams you could put in this conversation here. People might put the New Boys, Durban City and Orbit College there after promotion, but I'm going to go for the likes of Magesi. I do think these two teams are very interchangeable, but I am going to put Magesi here. It is their second season in the top flight, and I just think there are way too many problems with this team. I think compared to some other teams in the league, I don't think they've quite made the necessary improvements this transfer window, despite the fact that the season is starting now.
I'm in danger!
They've brought in some players that could improve their midfield, but they don't quite have a top goal scorer or that lethal goal scorer in my opinion to improve the attack. Once again, their defense also quite leaky. I just don't see them doing well this season. But another team that could be in and around that conversation, which honestly they could get relegated, but I'm going to put them in 14th place, Siwelele FC. As we know, formerly SuperSport United, one of the most historical clubs in South African football history. They went through a name change, a brand change, all of that stuff.
Oh man, you're just ruining it. Look at my lips, you're ruining it.
I've seen a lot of people say that they won't do too bad because they haven't lost too many of their super sports players, which I don't quite agree with because they almost got relegated last season with those players, plus they've lost some. I think the one thing that really allows me to back them though is they've still got that strong fan base despite the changes. I think the fans could really carry them through home games. But yeah, just in terms of overall quality of the squad, I don't see them doing super well. Now in terms of 13th place, I'm going to go for Chippa United. Once again, a lot of these teams are very much interchangeable where they could go in the South African Prem. I mean, between 14th place to 5th place could literally be 5 points. But looking at Chippa United, I think they've brought in some experience that could help them stay up. The likes of Chobeni, who got good CAF Champions League experience with Pirates last season, but same with a player of theirs going to Pirates the other way, their top goal scorer from last season. Once again, Chippa United, they've brought in some players, they've lost some other players. They weren't fantastic last season. I haven't seen major improvements once again compared to some other teams in the league. I just don't think they've made the necessary changes.
No, well, I'll leave it then. If you're going to be tricky like that, I won't even bother to carry on. Shall we?
In 12th place, I'm going to go for the likes of Polokwane here. Once again, they are a very tricky team to kind of predict. They did really, really well to their standards last season. They've brought in a few players from Pretoria Callies, 4-5 players. Once again, I'm not sure whether those are going to be necessary improvements to the team. I don't know if that's going to help the team enough. But the big loss to their team is obviously Apolis going to the likes of Orlando Pirates, by far their best player.
He was special.
I can see him being a fantastic player on occasions for the Bafana national team. Once again, by far, losing your best player, that could totally hinder the team. That could be the difference between them being 6th place all the way to potentially 16th place. I just think that they have lost by far their best player, and they did have the most draws in the league last season with 10, and you kind of need that player like Apolis to kind of get those points for you. He is the difference maker. So the fact that they've lost him, I don't have high hopes for Polokwane, so maybe 12th is optimistic. 11th place, Golden Arrows, once again another team that got a lot of draws. I think they tied for the most last season as well with 10. One thing I will say about them though is they've brought in a lot of attackers this transfer window.
Can't go on like this, can it?
It can.
Once again, they need to make those changes because too many draws last season, but bringing in attackers, I do think that is an improvement compared to a team like Polokwane. So I'm just going to put them over them in 11th place. In 10th place, I'm going to go for the likes of Richards Bay. As I said, this whole kind of section looks interchangeable at the moment. They ended up getting Mango, obviously the Malawi striker I was talking about earlier. I think he's super versatile. As we know, he was great for a period of time when he played for Orlando Pirates. He's got that experience in him. And overall, I don't have too much to say about Richards Bay, but they are slowly kind of building a decent team, and I don't think you can sleep on them. Although, as I said, with how this league works, they could very much be ahead of all these teams just on goal difference. Now, the final team for this category, I'm going to go for TS Galaxy here. They did lose their top goal scorer from last season, the Bosnian striker Zajmovic. Obviously, they scored 30 goals in the league last season, but saying that could be hindered by the fact that they have literally just lost their top goal scorer. I haven't been super impressed with them. A part of me did think that they could potentially sell their first division rights. I thought they would sell their status to Cape Town City, to be honest with you.
Shut up and take my money.
I didn't expect them to still be here. At the end of the day, once again, just compared to some other teams around them, they might struggle, but I think I saw better performances from them last year for me to warrant me putting them there. Now jumping into that 8th place spot, this might surprise many, but I'm putting New Boys Orbit College here. I mean, we saw them throughout the playoffs last time around. As I said, Cape Town City absolutely broke my heart. They had some fantastic performances, and a huge reason to why I put them there is because of their coach Makoya. I think that he's got the right attitude as a coach. I think he knows how to rise the spirits of the fans. I think he knows how to pull in some excellent players. I mean, they've just got the likes of Seleng from Orlando Pirates on loan, which I just don't understand how that happened. He's such an exciting talent. So the fact that Orbit College have him for this season, I think is an exciting prospect. And I think they could surprise a lot of teams in the league this season. Now, next up, I'm going to go for AmaZulu in 7th place. Once again, such a tricky team to predict. I mean, they really are great some seasons, not so great other seasons.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
They've got a lot of players back in their squad who did help Durban City get promoted last season. So once again, they've kind of got those talents back. They've got a bit more game time. They have lost the likes of Maremi, their most creative player, to Pirates. He got 7 assists in the league last season. And losing a player like that, once again, hopefully it doesn't hinder their goals. But once again, I think they've brought in enough so far this transfer window for me to have a bit more confidence in their attack. Now in 6th place, this might shock a lot of people, but I'm going for another promoted team with Durban City. Look, they've brought in some fantastic players this transfer window. If you follow their pages, I mean, it feels like they bring in 6 players a week at this rate. Obviously, Darren Keats from Cape Town City absolutely breaks my heart.
We cannot replace him. We cannot.
But yeah, he got 10 clean sheets in the league last season. That will definitely help their defense. But above everything else, bar all the extra players they've brought in, they've got Gavin Hunt as a coach now, a man who has proven success in the top league. And I think they are building a serious project here. This could be the Nottingham Forest of the South African Prem. Now jumping into 5th place, once again, some people might be very unhappy with me here, but I'm going for Kaizer Chiefs.
Do not even. No.
They weren't great. They did end up mid-table last season, despite some of the talent they brought into their squad. They have brought in the likes of a new tacker with the likes of Flavio Silva, who did get 9 goals in 33 games in the Indonesian league last season. I'm still not quite sold on him, but they brought in the likes of Ethan Cheslett, who was playing for Port Vale last season. He's got some really exciting attacking numbers. I definitely think he could improve that overall attack of the Kaizer Chiefs squad. I think they will do better compared to last season, but I think they are still potentially missing 1 or 2 players to really take their squad to the next level. Now jumping into our final 4 teams. Now, believe it or not, these 4 teams all have one thing in common. They are the only 4 teams to have had a positive goal difference in the league last season.
you serious?
Which is odd to think about. And starting off our top four, I am going to put in the likes of Sekhukhune United. I really do believe in Eric Tinkler. I think he's done a fantastic job at the club. We saw that when he rivaled Cape Town City last season. On top of that, they've got the likes of the legendary Bradley Grobler. He is the Olivier Giroud of South African football at 37 years old. He scored 2 goals the other weekend in the MTN 8 Cup. Once again, I really am enjoying the Sekhukhune United squad, and I can see them improving off of last season. Definitely. Now, jumping into third place, I'm going to go for a Cape Town-based team or a Western Cape-based team with Stellenbosch. I mean, what a story they've had since being promoted in the last half a decade. Yes, they have lost some majorly important players for them, like the likes of Nduli. He was definitely one of their players of the season last season, the likes of Fawaz, in my opinion. Maybe the best fullback with Madao for South Africa right now. I think he's going to be such an exciting player, and losing him to Sundowns once again, it just takes away their competitive advantage of the league, unfortunately.
They do this every year.
They've lost 2 major players, but Stellenbosch have also brought in some exciting players, and they still have a lot of the talent they've got in their squad, from the likes of Titus, Sage Stevens, so many others. It is still a top quality squad, and they haven't disappointed me so far, so I'm going to keep them there. And finally, jumping into our last 2 teams in terms of who I think will win the league, will it be Orlando Pirates to break that Mamelodi Sundowns streak, the team that has dominated the league for a decade now? Well, looking at Orlando Pirates, they've literally got a Bible-long list in terms of players they brought into their squad. The player, as I said, that excites me the most is probably Apolis from Polokwane. I think he's really going to bolster the attack. As we know, they've got those exciting attacking options anyway, but they've just added to that depth. Just overall, this is a really good-looking Pirates team. And I mean, many people kind of thought that maybe they could have won the Champions League last season. As we know, they got to the semi-final. Unfortunately, they did end up falling off, which was quite sad. I thought that they would make it to the final. But looking at Mamelodi Sundowns, we can't underestimate them, and I'm going to give them yet another league title. What would that be, like 8th in a row for them?
He can't keep getting away with it!
Unfortunately, looking at Pirates, I think they've got a very good team, but there's no denying that Mamelodi Sundowns is the best in the country. And yes, they lost to Pyramids in the CAF Champions League final last season, but they probably are the best in the continent on their day. We saw them at the Club World Cup. Yes, they got knocked out of the group stage, but they were the better team versus Fluminense, versus Borussia Dortmund, obviously versus Olsen, who they did get the win against. They were phenomenal versus big opposition, and improving their team with the likes of, as I said, the likes of Fawaz, Besaiden in the fullback position. Just you go throughout their entire squad, they've got elite players in every position. I think the gap is still way too big, and I think they'll take it again. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you did enjoy my first ever South African Premier League prediction video. If you would like me to make more local styled content, please let me know as well. I've made some vlogs in the past, but I would like to talk about the league more in the future. Guys, I hope that you did enjoy. Like, subscribe, help the channel grow. Until next time, cheers.